The bell above the diner door gave a soft jingle as a tired-looking woman stepped inside, holding the hand of a little girl no older than 6. It was late evening, and the small restaurant buzzed with the warm hum of conversation and clinking plates. The woman's coat was thin for the season, her shoes worn at the edges. She chose a booth near the corner, one partly hidden by a tall menu board, as if she hoped not to be noticed. Her daughter slid in beside her, wide-eyed, quietly observing everything, especially the plates of food being carried past their table. Across the aisle sat a single father and his 8-year-old son. The father had just come from work, sleeves rolled up, tie loosened, exhaustion written across his face. But he smiled gently at his son as a plate of hot food was placed between them. The smell of fries and roasted chicken filled the air. That was when he noticed it. The little girl in the corner booth wasn't looking at the door or at her mother. She was staring at his plate. Not rudely, not greedily, just silently, longingly. The woman leaned forward and whispered something to her daughter. The girl nodded, though her eyes lingered a second longer than she meant them to. A waitress approached their table, and after a brief, hushed conversation, the woman's shoulders slumped. She reached into her purse, counted a few coins, then quietly shook her head. "It's okay," she murmured to her daughter. "We'll go." They slid out of the booth as gently as they had entered, trying not to draw attention. But the father had already seen enough. "Hey," he called softly, standing up before he could second-guess himself. The woman froze, embarrassment flooding her face. "I'm sorry," she began quickly. "We didn't mean to." "You didn't do anything wrong," he interrupted kindly. He glanced at his son, who understood immediately. The boy pushed his untouched plate forward. "We ordered too much," the father said with a small shrug. "Would you help us?" The little girl looked up at her mother, uncertain. The woman hesitated, pride battling necessity. "Please," the father added gently, "it would make my son happy to share." That was all it took. Minutes later, the two children sat across from each other, quietly eating. The girl tried to take small bites, as if the food might disappear. The father ordered another plate without hesitation. Conversation slowly replaced silence. The little girl even giggled at something the boy whispered to her. When the meal ended, the woman's eyes shimmered with unshed tears. "I don't know how to thank you," she said. The father shook his head. "Someone once helped me when I needed it most. Tonight, it's my turn." As they prepared to leave, the little girl waved shyly. The diner door chimed again, but this time it didn't sound lonely. The single dad sat back down, his son watching him carefully. "Dad," the boy asked softly, "were we really not going to finish that food?" The father smiled. "We had exactly enough." And for the first time that day, he felt full, not because of the meal, but because he had noticed a quiet stare and chosen kindness instead.